Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to implement the attack ability in-game using the PaperZD plugin and some blueprints. So we left off this animation source in the last video, and if we go to the animation blueprint for my character Ray, we will see that I already have some nodes here. So as you can see, we've got the idle, we've got the jump, we've got the falling, and then we have the attack node and the jump node for attack. So again, this assumes that you have some foundational knowledge of Unreal Engine and PaperZD. But I will go over this briefly. So essentially, the PaperZD animation graph works very much like the 3D animation blueprints in that there are set rules that allow you to transition between states. And when you double click here, you've got a selected animation from the animation source that is chosen here on the right hand side that allows you to output the relevant animation. Some of the animations will require you, or the best practice is to use a jump node, and that's because they won't be triggered through traditional means. So again, if we were to look at a 3D workflow, you would see that an animation like a run may be triggered from walking once the character goes over a certain movement speed. So again, that's the reasoning behind using a jump node in this tutorial. So if we go back here, I've got my attack node here where I've plugged in the relevant animation source. I've got the transition rule, which is quite literally just getting the time that the animation takes and then running a check to see if that time has essentially run out by 0.1 seconds. And then to get this jump node, I've just right clicked, jump, clicked it, and then I've named it that. And then once I've named it, I have then dragged from there to there. So again, fairly simple stuff, but also extremely effective. And again, it sort of mirrors typical 3D animation blueprint workflow. So I'm just going to compile this. I'm going to save. So as I've stated a few times already, we want this to work in the master player. And we want it to be modular so that multiple characters can essentially use the same code. I will not be including certain checks in this code because it is more of a prototyping video, rapid iteration, and because it's more of an advanced tutorial as well, I expect people to again understand the fundamentals, understand the fact that you will have to run checks like, is the character dead? And also because if I went through every single thing that you are meant to do, we would all be here for a very long time, and I could probably go on for days. So yeah, we're just gonna prototype and implement these abilities, start with this one and then move on to the next one. So let's get started. So what you're going to want to do is in your master player blueprint, you're going to want to right click and you're going to look for IA attack. And under your enhanced action events, you are going to click IA attack. Then we're going to get our animation component from the top left hand side. We're going to drag it in. Then we're going to drag off of it and we're going to look for an anim instance, and under PaperZD, the bottom there. Cool. So now that we have this, we are going to pull off of it and we're going to look for a jump node. So again, usually you would run checks, see if the character is dead, see if the animation has run out of time, etc. But for the sake of just prototyping, I'm just going to dive straight into it. So triggered there. So you can see here we have the jump name. So we want to make it modular and across all characters that inherit this logic. So what we are going to do is we are going to jump. Where have I put? So you may or may not have seen that I was, there we go. Right. So what I have done when I was doing this previously is I have taken this value and I've just right clicked and promoted it to a variable. So for the jump attack, we can change it depending on the character class. So I'm going to compile and I'm going to save. Now, if we go to the child Ray and we look at the inherited variables, we are going to see the jump node attack. And we can see that I have a jump node name. So I'm just going to double check that it is the right one. And as you can see, it is not the right one. So this is the name that we need. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to go to the top right, CTRL A, CTRL C, and then I'm going to go back to Ray. There. And now I'm going to compile and I'm going to save. Okay, now that we have compiled and saved, I'm going to minimize it. I'm going to press play, and as you can see, I've got my character array there on the existing tile map with no background. It goes back and forward, and then if I left click, the sword animation plays. So in that, we have successfully implemented the first ability, which is a basic melee attack. So in the next ability, in the next video, for the next ability, we're going to scale things up a bit. We are going to add some resource management, and we're going to go from there. So I will see you in the next video.